Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be critiquing a grammar infographic via the lens of Mayer's principles. Specifically, it's grammar about fragment and run-on sentences. Here's a small image of what the whole infographic looks like. It looks like this person who created this infographic uses a good signaling principle. We have good headings to bring attention to important areas that we're supposed to pay attention to. And it also looks like they're employing Mayer's use of contiguity principle, where you have the text that's important grouped together. Um, And here's just a look at the top of the slide. Perhaps this is somewhat superfluous. It shows looks like a studious woman trying to figure out her grammar. But the title is important, Sentence Fragments and Run-Ons, and it tells the reader or the learner what he or she will be working on. So that is important. Okay, here's where we start to run onto some problems. Before giving an example of a run-on sentence, the infographic goes on to give distinguishing features of a run-on. Here, an example of cognitive overload and pre-training principle. There are several words that really might not make sense to somebody who's just trying to learn what a sentence fragment is. Such as maybe somebody doesn't know what a verb phrase is or what a predicate is. Maybe somebody doesn't know what a clause is. It assumes a lot of prior knowledge. And then finally, the sentence they give for a sentence fragment doesn't really explain anything. It says that this is a sentence fragment because it's missing a verb, but if you know what a verb is, you're going to see John, who was, and think, well, that's a verb. What's really wrong? What is a sentence fragment? And finally, the infographic summarizes types of sentence fragments. Again, this is cognitive overload and pre-training principle, lacks pre-training principle, because many people who don't know what a sentence fragment is are not going to know what a prepositional phrase is, what a positional phrase is, and it's really superfluous information. It doesn't have to do with the nuts and bolts of figuring out or learning what a sentence fragment is. In fact, I think all it does is leave the learner confused. So here's my critique of this infographic. Uh, it is not helpful and definitely doesn't appeal to some important objectives of Mayer's lens.